Let's see. But anyways, let's carry on. You have cheeses and wines to loot here. We're looking for some kind of hints, some kind of lead. Can we still chat with Orianna out of curiosity?
Time is short, Witcher.
Alright, alright. And she was still singing it a little bit when we were in the other room. I kind of hope she continues to do so. That was cool. Alright, this is mostly just junk, and to tell you the truth, not even sure we're ever going to have the opportunity to sell anything again. Or probably not going to matter much at all at this point, so if anything, we may, in truth, just want to ignore that junk altogether. Otherwise, we have the risk of weighing ourselves down. But yeah, now that we use our Witcher senses, we have a better sense of, ooh, what else is here? And I'm not sure we're going to like it.
Smashed against the wall. Skull cracked. Died immediately. Beast killed the children, but didn't eat them. Something scare it off. Or grab its attention.
Now, you say beast. Do you mean the beast? As in the beast of Beauclair? Like Detloff? I thought I saw signs of commotion upstairs for a second there, but maybe not. Or is it something else? I mean, like I was saying before, I think it's a little strange that a vampire would attack this place, given how I would think that most, if not all of them, at least the higher vampires, you know, with some critical thinking skills, would know that this is sort of Orianna's orphanage, and so they wouldn't attack it because they know Orianna cares about this place, and so they would be sort of hurting Orianna if they were to attack this place. But so that would lead me to believe that maybe it is something other than a vampire, but maybe Detloff, in a fit of rage, could still have attacked this location.
Stomach wall cut open in 3 places. Damaged organs, arteries.
Okay. I did see there was also a body outside there, but I think let's at least start off with here. Begin with indoors. Then we'll work our way out. Because this circle... Actually, I'm curious where this is. Huh. Really? Did we never go here before? Oh. Count Delacroix's mill. That is where we ultimately ended up going with Damien, right? When we did go the Damien route, obviously we met up with him here. But then we convened with him and his soldiers over here. But we hadn't really been in that location otherwise. Closest we got was probably this monster nest over here. And I guess maybe this was just a little area that we, for whatever reason, just did not really spend much, if any, time in, because I'm not sure that we were here at all. Despite it being close to places like Corvo Bianco, Burning Grounds, and the city. All places that we were, of course, visiting numerous times. That's strange. I mean, this is like right next door to Corvo Bianco, as it turns out. And we didn't know about it. Or at least, didn't know the details until just now. And a place of such significance as well. But imagine what would have happened if we'd stumbled across this place preemptively. Probably would not have been great. Let's try heading up here. I don't know if this is just going to be sort of optional loot-related things, or if we'll actually find something of particular significance up here. So at least at the moment, this is definitely looking more like the former. Mostly just loot. But, you know, we got a dumpling, so it was obviously worth it. Looks like that's all. In which case, I'm guessing the most important stuff for us will actually be outside. Yeah, the circle was pretty big. It seemingly... Yeah, it covers more or less this whole estate here. Well, there's another child
Head,
right
shoulder,
here.
and neck wounds. Monster attacked from above. Jumped off the roof, I bet.
Huh. That does sound more vampire-like, though. Let's see. Roaches down here, for whatever it's worth. Ooh, what do we have here? Several more signs. Ooh. Of stuffs. Hold on. Start with the claw marks, I suppose?
Claw marks. Sharp, hooked claws. Monster had an easy time climbing on the roof.
That should be a pretty big hint, I would think. And that would, well, if it were a vampire, then it presumably would be able to fly. It would also probably have large claws, true. But I think it'd be easier to fly rather than climb. Footprints?
Paw prints.
Paw prints.
Bipedal beast. Walks hunched over.
Letter? If it were a vampire, then I think that kind of fits the description for either Flutter or Garcane. Otherwise, I mean, of course, could be any of a number of non-vampire-like creatures. Just that my first inclination is to think vampire, or at least consider vampire, because, like I said, obviously everything that is attacking the city right now is a vampire. But for all the reasons we were talking about before, it would be a little bit strange for a vampire to attack this location. Ooh, another child, I'm afraid, I think.
Wounds are smooth-edged. Claws cut through cleanly. Young, thin bones offered little resistance.
That's not good. Okay. Another child?
Sliced aorta. Fang marks alongside, but they're old, scarred over.
Huh? Oh, hold on. They're old and scarred over? So, remember when I was just making mention of how the whole prospect of a vampire looking out over an orphanage gave me... It didn't make me feel great. That makes me feel a little uncomfortable, because, you know, there's these innocent, vulnerable children who one could fairly easily take advantage of, and if you are a vampire, who is certainly quite powerful, then you could use them to be an easy target for you to drink their blood. And if they have scarred over wounds that are old, that suggests that they were hurt a while back, in which case that would presumably mean it was not from whatever this creature was. And, well, know that Orianna is a vampire, and so who would be capable of causing such wounds before this beast came by? It would probably be Orianna, or at least make a lot of sense of what is this.
Smells not blood. Need to investigate.
Okay. Interesting. I just want to see if there were the footprints. Just want to make sure we find where those led. Oh, what's this?
Blood hasn't even dried.
Okay. So that's new. That would have led us down to this child that we saw. We just went a slightly different direction. Okay. Then we have this blood. I just want to make sure we're not missing anything else over in this direction here. I mean, this is where it's leading us, it seems. Along with more paw prints. But yeah, just want to make sure we don't miss anything over on this side, because we did not check out this side at all. I don't think there's going to be much. It's like we were saying, it seems like the loot that we are finding is largely insignificant junk. What is that? What is that? It looks significant. It looks like some kind of satanic ritual. Or, well, okay. Maybe that's a little extreme. It does look like some kind of, well... Yeah, you know, you've got what? You've got bread. You've got meat there. That looks like cheese. Obviously lit candles, and the thing that's I'm not so sure about is it's more or less in the middle, but it looks like there's blood splattered on it. Oh, is that a fish? Maybe a dead fish? Okay. So maybe not so terrible, but I don't know. Something's up with that. Someone more familiar with that stuff than I am, perhaps. Easier to connect all the dots there and figure out what that is. So what exactly that ritual or ceremony or what have you might be supposed to signify or be used for. But anyways, let's continue with this sense here. You have Roach nearby. Let's see, follow the tracks using richer senses. Oh, well. There's another child out here.
Is that venom? Narrows the
Venom.
list of suspects. Venom glands, long claws, a bloodsucker. Must be a Garcane.
Okay.
A pack leader, an alpha.
Oh, you know what?
Garcane's killing's a pleasure.
Alpha
It's
Garcane.
just whet its appetite. Must have gone after the Guardians too.
Okay. So Garcane, it is a vampire after all, and is a Garcane or Fletter, as we might have expected. What I was gonna say was that we didn't really learn about proto-Fletters previously, and, let's see, Bestiary, I think we did just get an entry for those Alpha Fletters, or Alpha Garcanes as well. Probably worth reading up on that briefly, yeah. But I thought when we saw the proto-Fletter entry, it had said that was a very rare type of Fletter that we thought would only exist in and around where the Unseen Elder is. So for a second there, I was thinking, maybe this would be a situation in which we might run into one of those. When a vampire gives a Witcher a contract to kill another vampire, you can be certain neither of the two is entirely normal. Okay. Yeah, that still is quite strange, though, that this Alpha Garcane would go after Orianna's orphanage. Contract seems simple enough. The Geralt knew his target was a vampire. Yet one must bear in mind vampires are a very diverse group, and their various species differ from one another greatly. Witcher established the individual he sought had long, hooked claws with which it could tear apart a body with ease, leaving behind venom which hindered the clotting of blood. Ah, okay. I was gonna say, I wasn't sure if our previous Garcanes and Fletters that we'd run into actually have any sort of venom or not. So when we first heard Geralt mentioning the venom, for a second I thought that was going to be confirmation that it was not a vampire. So that was, for the split second, leading me to a different direction, but then he obviously confirmed Alpha Garcane. Let's see. What's more, it could use these claws to scale even the sheer outer wall of a building, giving others the impression it possessed mind-boggling powers. Geralt also realized his opponent was an experienced predator, able to set ambushes for its prey and attack it unexpectedly well. Well, thanks for the hints. I think that is a not-so-subtle hint that we are going to get ambushed, perhaps even very soon. I suppose for those that don't read the entry, then it would legitimately come as a surprise, but, alright. We've been forewarned. Several explosives that could be helpful to us. Of course, vampire oil and black blood, that makes sense. And, I have a feeling this could be a very difficult encounter, so brace ourselves. But, let's just see. I want to check out the... Oh, no, hold on. The Garcane, the Proto-Fletter. Proto-Fletters. Yeah, because I don't think we've actually encountered any of these yet. Have we? We read about them, which I thought was how we got this entry, but then I'm a little bit surprised that it has, you know, the color filled in. Usually when we run into somebody that we've not, or when we get an entry on something we've not yet seen in person, usually we get this. It's all blacked out. But that's not the case for the Proto-Fletter. I don't remember ever fighting them. And the members of this species are characterized by their considerable strength and agility, as well as a strange glow they emit, a trait most likely tied to their otherworldly nature. Proto-Fletters have never had significant contact with the outside world, having spent their entire time on our planet in the Unseen Elder's cave, whose atmosphere is very similar to that of their home world. So that's why I was thinking that maybe this would be a situation in which, okay, in the most dire situations, one of the Proto-Fletters might have been sent directly from the Unseen Elder to go attack this orphanage for reasons currently unknown to us. But I don't think we've encountered any of them thus far, or if we have, it's only been very briefly and might not have even been a fight to the death. But I think, given that context there is certainly a chance we might run into some of them soon. And let's just make sure. We have Black Blood equipped right now. Is that what this is? It is. Okay, so that's good. I suppose then using a vampire-based potion against them as well is fitting, I suppose. But okay. Follow the tracks. And part of me is feeling like we should even preemptively start applying some of those potions, because who knows when this surprise attack is going to happen. It could happen quite quickly. Come on, Roach. Can you hop over this, Roach? Perhaps not? Okay, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah, also, let's save here, I think.
Whoa!
Whoa! Oh. Do I trust whatever this is?
Go.
I'm not sure I do. Looks like just normal night, but I have a feeling it's not going to be.
Run, Roach.
Hello. Do I trust you? I was really expecting for him to do the whole thing that the Alps and Bruxay do, where as soon as you get close to them, they transform. But he did not do so. Hold on, we actually saw the wagon marks, but we ran past them, and tell you the truth, it's a little bit harder to investigate this stuff while on horseback. Let's do this here.
Arcane and wagon tracks merge. Wonder if the beast caught up. Roach.
Okay, now we hop on Roach. We just did that a little preemptively, it seems. Okay, so the Garcane was facing after the wagon? Is that the conclusion that we're coming to here? Seems like, yeah, they are basically in lockstep here, going in the same direction.
Drove off the road. Horses must have gotten spooked.
Right, out of curiosity, since we were so close to our house, are we heading closer to that direction? We kind of are. We kind of are. Very close to Corvo Bianco if we had just taken that left there. So, yeah, further concerned that we were right next to this all along. What do we have here?
Come on now.
This looks like it's a bigger plot. No, maybe not. Alright, never mind. Carry on. Hopefully this takes us a little bit further away from Corvo Bianco, otherwise it's just increasingly concerning. Near this, yeah, monster nest that we ran into previously. We were there before, of course. Oh. Well, this doesn't look good. Hold on. Where exactly is this? Have we? A little bit north of the monster nest. I feel like it's close to the Cockatrice Inn at this point, which of course I assume we'd gone down from the Cockatrice Inn to Corvo Bianco at some point. Although actually, at that point in time, we might have had sort of like scripted transitions, so much so that we never actually went through this area right here. Otherwise, I feel like it'd be fairly likely that we would have just happened across this random place, because it is so close to a bunch of other things. But it looks like something's about to go down here.
Slower.
So, like, do we even now maybe is a not terrible time to start applying some stuffs? Let's throw on our vampire oil at the very least. Reapply that. Yeah, because that's all expired. Okay. Then, let's see. I mean, this is big open area.
Caught up. Trail ends here. Need to look around.
I'm guessing it's going to ambush us at some point during our investigation here. Yep, I mean, we can hear it.
Wounds are bad. At least it didn't suffer long.
Okay, let's try to loot this stuff before we investigate the quest-related things, because there might be a scripted entrance once we do investigate all the quest-related things. It might just be this.
Shredded her, then licked up her blood.
That's a person?
Every last drop.
Yeah.
Gotta carry its fill here. Probably holed up nearby to digest.
Yeah. Well.
Aha.
Certainly seems like it. Alright, Roach. Let's do it. Where exactly? A little bit further? Okay. Thought it might have been just around that corner there. No, it's under the bridge downtown, it seems. Oh, it's hanging right there. Classic vampire pose. Can we shoot it with a crossbow? That would kind of be hilarious if we could. I'm tempted to do so. Hold on. I kind of want to save and give that a shot just to see if it's possible. That'd be kind of hilarious if we can. Let's try. Can we do this? No? Aw, man. Aw, that's a shame. That's a shame. Okay, well, I mean, I suppose, why not? We presumably are about to trigger this confrontation, right? Let's make sure. Oh, hold on. Yes, that's Black Blood we just activated. Okay, that's good. Then I think we can also put on the Succubus Decoction simultaneously. So let's do it. Hello? Wakey, wakey. Sleepy, sleepy Alpha Garcane. Right, Geralt, you know where it is. I was firing your crossbow at it. Don't be silly. That's gonna pop down behind us and be like, Rah! It's glowing, seemingly. I don't remember what signs we're supposed to use against it. I might double check that real quick here.
Gonna hang your head from my saddle, bastard.
I mean, it's not wrong. But just called the alpha. That is, it's pretty alpha. It's a pretty alpha move, I'd say. Remind me. Signs. What are we technically supposed to do? I thought against some vampires that Igni was the way to go. No sign specifically here. I mean, some vampires also, urine works well. But no real hints here. I mean, the coloration is interesting, but I think this thing is about to annihilate us if we stand here. So let's not do that. That hurt. Yeah, it's big. It's big. So it seems to do the shouts, much like the Alps and Bruxay do. Like that. Let's keep our distance from that. Oh, we were really far away and that still hit us. Wow. Yeah, and then it follows up with an attack. I don't like being stuck in this corner, though. Okay, it is getting damage, though, when we're nearby. In fact, that Black Blood is doing work here. A lot of work. Like, a whole lot of work. A few more hits here, and we'll take it down. Not so bad with the help of the Black Blood. Honestly, it may have done just as much, if not more damage than our actual attack. So its brain is disturbing, the way it is moving like that. Monster Stomach. And Garcane Trophy will hang it from Roach. There it is, in fact. So we can now return to Orianna. Let's take a quick look here and just see what that trophy does, because it may not be as good as the one that we were using previously. It's given us bonus experience from monsters compared to what were we using previously? Thought we had what was more or less the best one in the game. Bonus experience from monsters and humans and gold. That's sort of a mixture of everything. 15% gold. Well, then again, I don't think the gold is all that relevant at this stage, so maybe it is better to prioritize the experience, because like I said, I'm just not sure we're ever going to buy or sell anything from this point onward. Let's hop back on, and let's just take a quick look around, make sure there isn't anything else here in this area before we head out back to where Orianna is, at the orphanage. Ooh, yes. Yes. Because I would like to see what the deal is with this letter from Orianna. Like I said several times before, I'm suspicious. It seems very strange that a vampire would attack Orianna's orphanage. Maybe this letter can help explain it, and maybe Orianna is not quite as innocent as she's letting us to believe. Or no, I don't care at all that turnip is the cheapest. It makes the blood thin and bitter. I think what I was suspecting before may be true. I've told you many times. Cost is no object. Don't try to cut corners, otherwise I'll start to suspect that you're funneling coin into your own pouch. My children will eat well, and in good quantity. Make sure they have dessert after each meal. I didn't bring you all those sweets for nothing. And one more thing. If I ever see any more marks from beatings, you'll be in trouble. serious trouble. Oh. Orianna, of course. So, I think what we can gather from that.
Those kids.
Orianna kept them
Kept them like farm fowl or livestock.
to drink their
Damn
blood.
it.
Yup. So, not as innocent as she may have at first appeared, but like I was saying earlier, I think we suspected that might have been the case. So it does seem as though they were just a means to have an easy target to suck their blood, and she was deliberately feeding them nice foods and sweets to help the blood be tastier, like she was saying in that note. No turnips. They may be cheap, but they make the blood taste bad, so that is the confirmation that that was the purpose of her affiliation with the orphanage. So, yeah, that's gonna be an interesting conversation when we get back to chat with her. While we're on our way, let's just
Run, Roach.
heal back up. I mean, I could even imagine a situation in which we could potentially get mad at Orianna for doing that, and maybe even pick a fight with her. Wouldn't necessarily rule that out. Not necessarily sure that's what we want to do, but I could see a world in which that's at least theoretically possible. And I would be kind of intrigued to see what that's all about in that case. But it does seem as though Orianna, at least as things currently stand, is our primary way to get to the Unseen Elder, so she is kind of our most important ally at the moment, so we probably don't want to be picking fights with her right now. Let's see. So, presumably she's still in here. Let's save before we have this talk, because like I'm saying, I think... Okay, yeah, I did actually say. There are probably several ways this conversation could go down. Now, how bad could it get if things go wrong here? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe, like I said, could be a fight. Could be something a little less extreme, but let's see. Either way, I think we have a very interesting topic to discuss with her. Is she gonna be drinking its blood when we get in? I bet she is. Yup. Yup. Hey, Orianna, what's up?
Release him. Now.
You disgust me.
I thought it would take you longer.
It
Yeah.
will. Still not done. Got one more thing to tend to. You. The orphanage. Your wine cellar, right? A larder for blood.
Oh, we actually didn't go
I
downstairs.
said I helped these children out of the kindness of my heart.
We'll have to check that out if we still can.
Go outside, little man, and lock the door behind you.
This is starting to look like more and more as if this is going to be a fight.
Orianna took care of us. She took us off the street, brought us sweets, sang to us. Leave her be.
You see, Witcher, the world's not black and white.
I was going to say, it's not that straightforward.
I drank from the children, true, but never so much as to kill. And I gave them a great deal in
Right.
return.
She did raise them well, kind of, sort of, or at least did provide for them. So, I mean, if she did truthfully get them off the streets, then you could make the case that, well, you know, they would have been living a worse life without her than they would with her. But they are still merely pawns. I mean, you can see the blood on his neck where she was just drinking from him. But yeah, they are merely pawns, tools that she's taking advantage of, and they're children. They're children. I mean, my first reaction is, yes, you disgust me. Expect me to thank you? I mean, this I feel like would be, if we can in fact actually fight her, then I would think this would be the thing that would lead us down that path. Whereas this may be more along the lines of, hey, what you did is not very good, but at least we kind of need you right now, so I suppose we'll make it work. So I am intrigued by what would happen if we did fight her. I mean, part of me feels like, I'm trying to remember what Regis had said to us about the Unseen Elder, because he was the one who told us to go see Orianna, right? But I wonder if, theoretically, just theoretically speaking, if we fought Orianna then of course she was going to be the person who would take us to the Unseen Elder, but with her killed, would we potentially then go back to Regis and say, hey man, sorry, see, things got a little complicated. Could you maybe take us there instead? Might that be possible? Might that, in fact, be our mysterious third ending that supposedly exists? Of course, we know there's the Land of a Thousand Fables route with Sienna. There's the, what I would think would be the straightforward path going down this route, which would be have Orianna take it to the Unseen Elder, and then whatever happens down that route happens down that route. But maybe the difference that, or the branching path for the mysterious third ending is actually fight Orianna to the death. I don't know. I'm intrigued. We did save before this, but it intrigues me enough that I feel like, at the very least, I'd like to know what this does.
I run into dilemmas all the time. Situations where it's hard to judge, hard to know what's right.
Maybe we'd go back and try the other route after
is
this,
not one
but
of them. You disgust me and deserve to die.
yeah, this sounds like...
But
I'm in a hurry and you're hiding behind a child. So you'll live this time. I'm letting you.
Oh, interesting. So it doesn't lead to a fight now, but maybe opens the door to a fight later on.
The work of a Garcane, one of those summoned by Deadloff. Probably supposed to attack the city. Children's scent lured it here.
yes, it carries quite a way. Its sweetness teases the nose, gets the mouth watering.
Alright, too much information. Not helping your case here.
Elder, where'll I find him? Talk.
His lair lies west of the city, across the lake. Look for a cave near the shoreline, and this stone will open a hidden door.
Not gonna take me there?
I visit the Elder only when I absolutely must. You'll know why once you meet him.
Yeah, it does seem like he's, not so friendly of a dude.
I'll come back for you one day. You realize that, right?
Then I shall keep an eye out for you.
Yeah. I think we've sown the seeds to fight her in the future.
Time to summon Regis. Slip a word to the birds, he said.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, that's something that I feel like, after having recently just fought Olgierd, if it's a semi-hidden boss fight, or at least a boss fight that you could very well end up missing if you did not make that specific dialogue choice, then, given how we're kind of exploring here, deliberately trying to go out of our way to experience things that we did not previously experience, then that's part of the reason why I'm being a little more aggressive than we would have been on our main timeline. So definitely not the same diplomatic approach that we were taking previously, but that's partially deliberate here. Are you gonna say something to the birds? There we go.
So, I'll be at the boat landing near the palace, waiting for Regis there. Mind telling him?
Maybe? Any sort of acknowledgement? Ah, there we go. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, so we can... Oh, actually, I was gonna say... So obviously we can go meet Regis now, or we can stay here, and I was wondering, is there any reason why we might want to stay here? If we can go back in and check if there's a downstairs, I didn't see it initially, but it just... Geralt made reference to a wine cellar that I did not think we had seen, and I don't know if that's actually a place where you can go. But it seemed like maybe he was alluding to there was some more concrete evidence of Orianna having used the children to drink their blood. And so, let's try staying, just to see if we can still find that. No, that is back in which direction? Hold on. That would mean somewhere over here. Maybe in that little hut over to the side. So we were relatively thorough with our exploration, at least in the house, I thought. But we looked up at a ladder. We went to the attic, but we did not see any downstairs. We might have missed that. Let's see. Maybe the entrance was a little more discreet. Let's see. Chance it's out here. Like I said, if it's actually in this little barn. I don't remember if we looked all that thoroughly in this. No, this is just a small overhang. And I do wonder, I mean, we did kind of pick a fight with Orianna, like I was saying. So there's a non-zero chance that if we go back into the building, she'll actually immediately try to pick a fight with us, and we'll, well, perhaps have to kill her right now. Or that might still be something that we'll have to do later on. I mean, I imagine it's going to happen at some point, given the whole tone of that conversation, but suppose there's a chance that it's all talk and nothing actually comes of it. And get back in, for what it's worth. Let's see, so we're looking for some kind of trapdoor or staircase leading downward into a wine cellar, theoretically. And it may not necessarily be attached to this building. I think in many occasions, with other wine cellars that we've seen for other people, that they were kind of detached from the main setup. But just in case, just making sure there isn't anything else over here. I mean, maybe it's just can't go there. Because I'm not seeing anything at the moment, at least not in the building. That's the ladder we used to get up. And I suppose we can try going up and see if there's a different ladder that leads us to a different area that might actually take us to said wine cellar. That would be pretty elaborate way to hide it. You know, like you have to climb up here, get in the attic, and then like drop down in a specific spot to get around what would otherwise be a locked door to access an otherwise inaccessible area to get to said wine cellar, but I don't think so. I think those are all places where we could have gone previously. I am kind of curious. I think I want to save and then poke our head into Orianna's room and just see if she does actually get mad at us for showing up there right now. Is she still even here? No, it's locked. Okay, I suppose there's a non-zero chance that the if there was a cellar door, then it might have even been in that room with her, in which case we might have altogether missed our opportunity, but like I was saying, I mean, we suspected it from the beginning. We saw some evidence even here, especially when we investigated. I think it was this child that had the wound that had scarred over, and then of course once we got the note, then that absolutely confirmed it. But either way, now I think we'll head over to meet Regis at the docks. And it does seem like he's going to be the one that takes us to the Unseen Elder, no matter what. I mean, I suppose if we had been a little bit nicer to Orianna, maybe there's a chance she would have gone with us instead. So maybe there are ways to make Orianna be the person who takes you to the Unseen Elder, and there are ways to make Regis be the person to take you. But at least on this occasion, given how we were mean to Orianna, we're going to get Regis. Trying to see if there's anything else in this area here. Of course, now we're getting close to the city, so we are hearing and seeing more of the vampires in the area, and we may, run into some here, as it turns out. Let's see. Alp or Bruxa? Bruxa. 47 is pretty high. You don't want to be standing there. That might be the first time we've actually managed to step behind an Alp or Bruxa as they're doing their shout. We still have Black Blood active. Ooh, buddy. We still have our Vampire Oil. We should get this Urine back on, preferably. Yeah, what do you think of that? Stop blocking. Oh, You're right next to us. Hello. As it turns out. Okay. So, out of curiosity, how far are we from... Oh! Actually, quite a ways away from where Regis is. I thought it was just going to be a short trip down the coastline, but no, we have to go through actually a somewhat large component of the city. It's the outskirts of the city to get there. So in that case, I suppose we hop back on Roach here.
Come on, Roach.
And I think there's a pretty high likelihood that we do run into more vampires along the way. I imagine, I mean, we can double check here, but I imagine we probably are still not able to use fast travel spots. Yeah. Couldn't use them before, so that makes sense that that's still the case now. I think we'll just follow the path that is directing us down. And like I said, keeping our eyes peeled here for anything special, but I imagine that will not be the last vampire that we run into along our way. Ooh, this doesn't look good. That's a pretty thick smoke cloud over here. I think we did fight some vampires here previously, but none this time? I'm a little surprised given how large and open this area is.
Hey there.
Kind of curious. In fact, is this where we would have run into Damien previously? It might be. No it isn't. Damien would have been, what, like here before? I mean, obviously, that ship has sailed at this point, but I was just intrigued to see. Like, are there more vampires that we can go out of our way to fight? Probably. Well, maybe. Maybe not. But it seems like, you know, previously when we tried going through here... Whoa! Okay. Interesting. Some looters, actually. Humans, not vampires. That's a little bit unexpected. Oh, well, just pass the axe to like all of them simultaneously. Yeah, so we can in fact seemingly run into more enemies here. Though not the types I was expecting, and what I was gonna say was that when we were first going through here, when we were trying to get to Orianna, it seemed like so much of the pathway was blocked. But it almost feels like it's more open now, the city. So there are more pathways we can go down and more places where we can see. It does potentially mean more of these unexpected encounters to run into. It may just be those guys. But that was kind of cool. Can we even go all the way out of the city here? No, can't go out that way or that way. Okay, so let's head back along the main path now. In fact, we don't even have the dotted line when we go down here. This might have been where we would have run into Damien. Close to it, but maybe not quite. Because, yeah, this, doesn't look good. Seemingly a place where the guards tried to build some kind of fortification, but may not have been terribly successful based on the outlook there. Alright, well, let's hop back on Roach. Get moving. Ooh, hold on.
Move it.
Come on. You can do it, Roach. Alright, admittedly, this is not really the type of terrain Roach is most capable of traversing. Any other people or vampires around here? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Carry on. We can sprint, gallop, I should say, with Roach through the city now, which is not something that we could do previously, for what it's worth. Okay.
Go.
Man, the lighting is such that this looks like the fountain is of blood. We also did just step in that. Is it actually? It may be. I mean, obviously there's blood in the water, but it looks like there's actually blood coming out of the fountain. Okay, if we could actually, like, hop on Roach rather than going into the fire. Roach is not really cooperating here. It's kind of forcing us to go into the fire.
Let's go.
Alright, so now, heading towards the palace at this point. Of course, we have been here previously. But this time, we're not going up to the top, we're actually going around a bit. So we might still run into some additional vampires here. And greenhouses as well. Now, one of these greenhouses was the place where one of our friends who was hiding as the bunny rabbit had died, right? And we did make a point of going there afterward to actually get the bunny mask, but I don't know if that was the greenhouse in question. I think it might have been one of the more remote ones. I wonder if it would have been possible, even at this late stage, to pick it up, or if at this point that would have been unavailable had we not already gotten it. I know this is the opposite direction that it's telling us to go in, but I am just intrigued to see to what extent there are additional things that we might run into that are a little bit more off the beaten path. Because we did get some of that to happen previously. You know, now we're going pretty far in the opposite direction, I think. We might need to double back at this point. Yeah. Probably for the best, unless we find something like right here. Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, let's head back. May not be anything special in that direction. So I suppose we'll just head over to Regis, and this is actually not the direction in which we were initially directed to go down. I think maybe more so this was. And Regis is theoretically, I think, over there, so let's save. And I wonder if he's going to have anything to say about our little debates we had. Little confrontation, discussion, heated discussion we had with Orianna.